Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into some crucial information that everyone needs to know. I'm talking about manipulation tactics. Those sneaky little tricks people use to get what they want, often at your expense. You see, manipulation tactics can be subtle but incredibly powerful. It's like a virus. You don't even know it's there until it's too late. Let's uncover the 7 most common ones you need to be aware of. This first one is a classic. It's something we've all encountered at some point in our lives, whether in personal relationships, at work, or even while shopping online. We call it fake urgency. It's a tactic designed to make you feel like you have to act immediately without giving you the chance to think things through. Picture this. Someone's pushing you hard to make a decision right now. They might be waving a contract in your face or bombarding you with messages, all to create a sense of immediate pressure. No time to think, no time to weigh your options. You're left feeling confused and anxious, as if the world will end if you don't act this very second. They might lay on the guilt trip, saying things like, "If you were really my friend, you'd do this for me," making you feel responsible for their happiness or success. Or try to scare you with, "This offer is only good for the next 5 minutes." They create a false sense of scarcity to make you feel like you're missing out on something crucial. But here's the deal. Genuine opportunities rarely disappear in the blink of an eye. Real offers and decisions usually come with the time to consider and deliberate. Manipulators use fake urgency to bypass your rational thinking and exploit your emotions. They know that when you're rushed, you're more likely to make mistakes or agree to something you wouldn't normally consider. A person who truly respects you will give you the time you need to make a decision. They understand that important choices require careful thought and consideration. So the next time you feel that pressure to act immediately, take a step back, breathe. Ask yourself if this urgency is real or manufactured. More often than not, you'll find that you have more time than you think. Remember, your decisions are yours to make. Don't let anyone rush you into something that doesn't feel right. Trust your instincts and take the time you need. In the end, you'll feel more confident and satisfied with your choices when you know they were made thoughtfully and without undue pressure. Fake urgency is just that, fake. Don't let it control your decisions. Don't. Next up, we've got the compliment sandwich. This technique is often used in various settings, from workplaces to personal relationships. It's a method where someone delivers criticism but wraps it up nicely between 2 compliments, making it seem less harsh. The idea is to make the recipient more receptive to the negative feedback by cushioning it with positive comments. But let's dive deeper into how this works and why it's considered a bit sneaky. This one's a bit sneakier. It's not just about giving feedback, it's about managing the other person's reaction. The person using the compliment sandwich wants to ensure that their criticism doesn't sting too much, so they soften the blow with praise. But there's more to it than meets the eye. It's like hiding a bitter pill inside a piece of cake. The sweetness of the cake makes the bitterness of the pill easier to swallow. In the same way, the compliments make the criticism easier to accept. However, this method can sometimes feel disingenuous, as if the compliments are just a means to an end. They'll start with a compliment, something like, "You know, you're always so articulate," which immediately puts you at ease. This initial praise is designed to make you feel good about yourself and lower your defenses. Then they'll slip in the criticism, "But your presentation was a little all over the place." This is the core of their message, the real reason for the conversation. The criticism is the bitter pill that they need you to swallow. And just when you're about to react, bam, another compliment. "I really appreciate your hard work, though." This final praise is meant to leave you with a positive feeling, despite the criticism. It's like the second layer of bread in the sandwich, completing the structure. See what they did there? They tried to soften the blow, make you more receptive to the negative feedback by cushioning it with positive comments. This can leave you feeling confused, as you're not sure whether to focus on the praise or the criticism, but don't be fooled. It's still manipulation. The person giving the feedback is trying to control how you perceive their message. They want you to accept the criticism without feeling too hurt or defensive. They're trying to control your perception and manage your reaction. While the compliment sandwich can be effective, it's important to recognize it for what it is. Genuine feedback should be straightforward and honest, without the need for sugarcoating. So the next time you receive a compliment sandwich, take a moment to dissect it and understand the true message behind the layers of praise and criticism. This next tactic is all about creating drama and discord. We call it triangulation. This is when someone brings a third party into the equation to manipulate your response. They might say things like, well, your coworker said, or I heard through the grapevine that. It's a way to make you feel insecure, question your judgment, and doubt your relationships. They're trying to isolate you, make you dependent on them for validation. Remember, healthy communication happens directly, not through intermediaries. If someone has an issue with you, they should have the courage to address it directly. Chapter 4, Selective Listening. Now let's talk about selective listening. This one's a real head-scratcher. It's when someone only hears what they want to hear, conveniently tuning out anything that doesn't fit their agenda. They might interrupt you, change the subject, or simply ignore what you're saying if it doesn't align with their narrative. It's a way to control the conversation, distort the truth, and avoid taking responsibility for their actions. Remember, true communication requires listening with an open mind and a willingness to understand different perspectives. Chapter 5. Boundary testing. This next tactic is all about pushing the limits. We call it boundary testing. It's like a slow and steady erosion of your personal boundaries. They might start with small requests or favors, gradually escalating their demands over time. They're testing your limits, seeing how much they can get away with. And here's the thing, each time you give in, you're reinforcing their behavior and weakening your own position. Remember, you have the right to set boundaries and enforce them. Don't be afraid to say no and stand your ground. Chapter 6. Overloading with information. In today's fast-paced world, information is everywhere. We are constantly bombarded with data from all directions. News, social media, emails, and more. This constant influx can be overwhelming, and that's exactly what some people or organizations aim to exploit. This next tactic is designed to overwhelm and confuse. By overloading you with information, they aim to cloud your judgment and make you feel lost in a sea of data. This can be particularly effective in high-stakes environments like business negotiations, legal matters, or even personal relationships. We call it overloading with information. Imagine trying to make a decision when you're presented with hundreds of pages of documents, each filled with complex jargon and conflicting data. It's a classic manipulation technique used to cloud your judgment and make you doubt your own abilities. It's a classic manipulation technique used to cloud your judgment and make you doubt your own abilities. When you're overwhelmed, you're more likely to defer to someone who seems to have a better grasp of the situation, even if they don't. They might bombard you with facts, figures, and technical jargon, making your head spin. This can make you feel like you're not smart enough or capable enough to understand the situation, leading you to rely on their expertise. They might present you with a mountain of paperwork or a dizzying array of options, making it impossible to make a clear decision. This tactic is often used in sales pitches, where the goal is to confuse you into making a quick decision without fully understanding the implications. It's a way to make you feel powerless and dependent on their supposed expertise. When you're overwhelmed, you're more likely to defer to someone who seems to have a better grasp of the situation, even if they don't. This can lead to poor decision-making and a loss of control over your own choices. Remember, knowledge is power, but it can also be weaponized. The key is to recognize when you're being overloaded with information and to take a step back. Don't be afraid to ask for time to review the information, seek outside opinions, and clarify any points of confusion. Don't be afraid to ask questions, clarify information, and seek outside opinions. By doing so, you can regain control and make informed decisions. Remember, the goal of overloading with information is to make you feel powerless, but by staying vigilant and proactive, you can turn the tables and take back your power. Chapter 7, Excessive Charm. And finally, we have excessive charm. This one's all about using charisma and flattery to disarm you and lower your defenses. They might shower you with compliments, gifts, or special attention, making you feel like the most important person in the room. But here's the catch. They're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart. They want something from you. They're trying to win you over, make you more likely to overlook red flags and agree to their requests. Remember, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Trust your gut and don't be afraid to question their motives. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future content. Remember, knowledge is power. Stay informed and protect yourself from manipulation tactics. These tactics are out there, folks, but now you're armed with the knowledge to recognize and deflect them. If you don't follow us now, you may not see us again.